Today on Getting Real with the Housewives, why tensions between Kim Zolciak-Biermann and Kroy Biermann have increased. The best and most cringeworthy moments from Teresa's wedding special. Plus, why Melissa Gorga isn't going anywhere on Jersey Housewives. We got that plus so much more on today's Getting Real with the Housewives. Hey guys, Christina Arbaldi here with Us Weekly executive producer Mandy Camp, and welcome to Teresa's wedding special.
Teresa's wedding special. We finally got it. And it was like BravoCon. I mean, like everyone was there except the obvious.
Except Melissa and Joe. The fact that some of these people scored invites is just beyond, but we'll break it all down. And we have the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion trailer, which I feel is better than the entire 11, 13 episodes that we watched this past season.
100%. I feel like I should not have invested my time in the whole season and just cut to the reunion.
Totally. All right. Well, let's see what you guys had to say about last week's show. CA2SD says Louis and Teresa deserve each other. He would not be with her if she didn't have money, fame. He's crazy, and she's an insecure person who needs a man to complete her. Oof.
You guys really let loose in the comments last week, and we love to hear it. You know, I mean, we love to hear all the different sides, but yeah, it seemed like overwhelmingly people were against Teresa and Louis last week. So
yikes.
Robin Hulse 535 says Jennifer, Aiden, Teresa, and terrible and screwy Louis, which is quite funny.
I love that.
Are all made for each other. They need to go. No wonder Bill has to be drunk to be around.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, no, fighting words in our comments.
Yikes. I guess that's why he's in the pool house. Yesenia said, I used to be Team Teresa, but she needs to realize that her brother will never believe anything against his wife. And if she wanted a relationship with her brother, she needs to stop going after Melissa. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like they are all adults. Like we need to just stop acting like children. It really is crazy. But then again, we wouldn't have a show.
It's true. It's a pretty good season.
Yeah.
Elisa Smith says, I don't think Margaret had anything to do with the rumor. This was a made-up story by Teresa to bring Melissa down. Jennifer partnered in the story to get revenge on Margaret. They were able to convince Margaret's ex-friend to be a part of the story as a leg-in for camera time. After all, it was said she had auditioned for the show a few times.
We said it last week. Where is Laura? We need to know what Laura has to say about all this, because that's like the key to this puzzle, or the missing piece of this puzzle.
I'm surprised I didn't even get her just for an interview. Like,
right.
Yeah. The last episode or something.
We should get Laura for an interview.
All right. Stay tuned.
All right. All right. Well, let's move into the news of the week. And people are still shocked that Kim and Kroy broke up, but things are getting really nasty between the two of them. So on Tuesday, May 16th, Kim filed a motion to have the former NFL star drug tested. Well, he filed paperwork against her on Monday, May 22nd, where he requested that she undergo a psychological evaluation. Both parties claim that they're concerned that for the welfare of their children. A source exclusively told Us Weekly that they're playing tit for tat. Definitely seems like it. Yeah. She claimed that she saw Kroy smoking marijuana, leading to her to have serious concerns for the safety and well-being of the minor children while in his care. She's fearful that the children will be exposed to his drug use. Well, he then said that she has presented very troubling behavior, which has accelerated in the months leading up to his filing for divorce. And she is unable to properly care for the children because she has such a gambling problem, he is alleging. They're still living together in their Georgia home, which has to be really fun.
Possible.
No, has to be really great. As we know that this home was up for auction, was going to be in foreclosure, that got canceled. They reportedly over $1 million in back taxes, and TMZ reports that the financial burdens have been a strain on their relationship. Between the tax debt and other financial stresses, it's been difficult. The tax debt was the straw that broke the camel's back in their marriage. I mean, I'm sure finances make things really uncomfortable, but things are getting really ugly. You're accusing him of drug use. She's undergoing a psychological evaluation. Don't want to be in that house.
No, I'm picturing this. Are they just like in bed in their own respective rooms, like messaging their lawyers, like, put this out next, put that out.
Right. Well, it's got to be like a Tom and Ariana situation too. They're both still living together, and it's sad because there's really young children involved in all of this. But hopefully,
all this one day they're gonna get to see it all. So it's sad when it does get this messy. The funny thing is, though, like I was shocked when they broke up, Kroy and Kim. But I'm not surprised that it's gotten so messy, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, if they were ever going to break up, you would assume, it's going to be messy. And no,
they are both out for blood. Where are the cameras when we need them?
I wonder if, that's a good point. I wonder if Bravo tried to call them and be like, hey, can we get some cameras up in your house?
Right. Let's have a divorce special.
Oh, God. All right. Well, going back to Jersey, Melissa Gorga isn't planning to leave the Real Housewives of New Jersey anytime soon, despite the ongoing drama with her sister-in-law, Teresa. She said in a recent episode of her On Display with Melissa Gorga podcast, amid rumors that production on season 14 has been put on pause due to the Gorga's feud with Giudice, she said, I have no intentions on leaving. I never run away when the going gets tough. That's not my personality. She added, our family has been through ups and downs for so many years on the show. I've never left before and I have no intentions on leaving now. We see, though, we're going to talk about the reunion trailer in just a bit, but we see Teresa say almost knowingly that Melissa's out of it. So I'm like, did she have a conversation with Andy off camera? I doubt it. I don't think Andy's giving insider info to Teresa, but I think that's very interesting, very telling. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I agree with you. One of them is going to go. I really think that. I really think that one of them is done with this, but I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
Do you think either one of them would come back as like a friend of?
Absolutely not. Definitely not Teresa. Teresa would never. She would be like Vicky, like not coming back as a friend of, like, or I don't know. Vicky actually is coming back as a friend of the season, I guess, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. But so many people are saying that one or the other has to go. They have to make some sort of changes, but I don't know if that'll happen.
I don't know.
I feel like they're going to be dragging one of them out, kicking and screaming.
I think I'm going to call it. I think they're both going to be back next season.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
I just hope there's other things to talk about too, besides just them.
All right, well, let's get into the wedding special before we get into the reunion trailer. What did you think of this over the top? I mean, it was kind of like a circus.
It was like circus performers were there. So that, I don't know. It was just too much for me. You're older. Yeah. Like, why are you having such a spectacle? You know, why is your hair to the actual ceiling? That was absurd. I don't even think anyone liked it. Everyone's reaction was like, it's very Teresa.
Right. I love Danielle was like, you know, the higher your hair, the closer to God. She's like, God is looking down at you right now. I love that. I thought that was funny. But yeah, no, it was just, like you said, very over the top for any type of wedding, but second wedding. And I feel like we talked to Teresa before. She said that she wanted to keep it low key. This was kind of like Louis really wanted the spectacle. And I feel like he got it.
He got it, but don't, you know, Teresa wanted this too. Can you picture Teresa doing anything less than a circus performance for her wedding?
No, especially if she knew that they were filming this for Bravo. She wanted to give them a show and she did. But you know, say what you will about Louis and everything like that. It does seem like the families have really blended nicely together. Her girls really support this marriage, which I feel like, you know, block out the noise. That's really what's the most important thing.
When I did watch the speeches that the girls gave, they seemed pretty genuine. And you're so right. Like, if the kids are happy, Teresa's happy. Why do we all care so much? You know, I don't know. I just hope that in 5 years from now, we're not wondering why she didn't file for a prenup and, you know, all that. But
yeah, no, that is the red flag right there. Where is that prenup? And I did appreciate that he didn't tell Teresa about the Joe and Melissa drama that was going on that day, because Joe and Melissa were posting on social media about, you know, blood doesn't make you family. So I did appreciate that they didn't, and this wedding special really wasn't about that. And they didn't really want it to be like that. And, you know, even when I spoke to Teresa and Louis, they didn't want it to be about that either. They really want to focus it on their wedding day. And that's what it was about.
I did think it was very lowbrow that they were posting things, knowing that it could get back to her on her wedding day.
Right.
What's happened. It's just why. I mean, I remember we wrote about it. Of course, we spoke about it at the time. But why would you do that on her wedding day?
And the fact that he never even reached out to her to say that they weren't going, that Dolores told them. And that's how she found out. So even if Dolores didn't say anything, which I'm sure she would have, like, she would have been like, well, where's my brother and Melissa? Like, you couldn't even send her a text message being like, given everything that's happened, we're not coming.
But then I go back to the fact that, like, look how big the bridal party was on both sides. And you couldn't have invited it or had, you know, I don't know. I go back and forth with these two.
I go back and forth. Yes, I know. One day I'm Teresa's side, one day I'm Melissa's side. Oh, God, why do I care so much about this?
What?
Why do I care so much about this?
I don't know. People get mad at us in the comments because we do switch teams every week, but Don't you guys too? Don't you sometimes switch teams on these
Right,
two?
of course. And, Teresa did get in that little dig at the end with their speech with the chosen family. So, she had to throw that one in there too. But you know what?
Unnecessary again.
Not necessary, but they did seem happy. The guest list with every single housewife imaginable. But and then Margaret and Jen Fessler, in the words of Tom Sandoval, dipping out early of the wedding. So
Dipping
that
out.
was interesting too.
Yeah, definitely. Margaret definitely did not forget that Melissa was not there. She made it known throughout the episode that she didn't think, that it was okay.
I know it's kind of hard to believe that, this happened in August. Like this was almost a year ago at this point. It's crazy.
I know. I had to Google it because I forgot when it actually was. I felt like it was yesterday, but no, it's almost a year ago.
Oh, so much has happened and so much is going to happen in this reunion. We have the 3-part reunion beginning next week and we've got the trailer and it is explosive. Like we said, I feel like this is going to be better than all the episodes that we watched this season because we have so much new information. Like Teresa putting the blame on Joe and Melissa that they were the one that called the FBI. All the accusations that Louis did hire security. I mean, he hired security at the reunion. Like that was crazy to me.
That was crazy. This whole thing is crazy. It's just getting crazier by the minute. Having, private investigators, security downstairs at the reunion. Like, what do you think people are going to do to you at the reunion? Right.
Yeah, no, and he's like saying that they got death threats, and I don't know. Do you think that he hired a private investigator? I know that this private investigator came out and said that that wasn't true, but I feel like maybe he did do a little bit of his homework.
Oh yeah, I think there's some truth to this for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. It was just like, why would you say something like that? It seems like, Margaret and Teresa go at it. Somebody, was it Jennifer that said to Margaret, you have old lady energy? Like,
yes, which I loved. I mean, I'm sorry, but Jennifer says it like it is,
She does.
And so does Margaret. She comes right back with it. So I kind of, they're good housewives.
They are good housewives. But then, oh yes. And then Jade's birth mother being contacted because of Louis. Like
that was wild.
Yeah. Like, I really wonder how we're going to view Louis after all of this. I mean, like we said, we've had our red flags up before about him, but it seems like they're really coming after him. It
seems like there's quite a few things. It's not like just one thing. Quite a few things are coming out about Louis in this reunion. And what I always say about these things is like, there's usually some truth to them.
Yeah.
Most there has to be. Of them don't come out of thin air.
Right. Yes. And it's bad. Well, I mean, I feel like Teresa gets up and leaves every single reunion, but she did get up, or one of them gets up and leaves every single reunion, but she had to get up and leave this one. So I don't know. I feel like after this, the relationship between her and Joe and Melissa is completely done.
Completely.
So it's like, where do you go from this in the show though? Because if they're not going to be organically filming together, if they're not really friends anymore, it's going to be weird.
Same with Vanderpump. I mean, not to bring it up Scandival because we do our whole reality recap on that, but like, where does the show go from there when you know for a fact that two people or several people just would never normally be in the same room together? Right. Like, in seasons, they're not going to see each other. We know that. So where do you go?
Where do you go? I don't know. Well, we're going over to Atlanta. So what did you think of this episode?
It was good. Very good. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the sort of performances. I mean, the woo-woos.
The woo-woos.
I didn't really understand why Drew joined her on stage. I didn't really see a big point to that, but they looked
whatever. I mean, it was funny. They're like, that's it. That's the performance. We're done. Okay. And then, it seems like this girl, Courtney, is really causing some drama with Kandi this season. I don't really understand. I'm still confused as to why this is an issue, but whatever.
Yeah, I feel like we're missing something here that will maybe come out in another couple episodes, but I'm not sure I really understand the feud right now.
No, but it was good that Drew and Sonia, they squashed their beef and, kind of moved past everything. It seems like a lot of like drama, came out of BravoCon with Drew and Sonia, with Kandi and her mom. Like it's a lot going on there.
Yeah, what did you think about Kandi's mom kind of talking on the panel about her husband, how she wishes that she had gone for someone that had a job?
That's bad. That's really bad. And I agree with Kandi because her kids are going to see that and be like, well, that's what grandma really thinks about my dad. Like,
Yeah.
Not probably the best look.
No. I also, just to go back to the feud between Drew and Sonia, and was it the hair flip or was it the merchandise? I just feel like we need to talk about Bravo merchandise for a minute,
Yes.
because that's gone too far. Like, for example, Lala's sweatshirt saying, send it to Daryl, her lawyer.
Uh-huh.
Like, some of this merch, I'm just over it.
I'm kind of over it too.
Yeah, like Jax last week had a shirt that said, I'm the real man in the group, where what was it? The
number one guy in the group.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I feel like this merch has gone too far. So unless you actually have a storefront like Craig Conover and is, sewing down south, maybe let's stop with the merch.
I totally agree with you. I mean, it kind of like diminishes like something that he's doing, because this is actually like a business. And yeah, it's like not every time you say something, it doesn't have to be put on a sweatshirt.
A tagline. It's almost like people say things to become a tagline now.
Exactly. Yes. They're like, how else can I make some money? I mean, appreciate the hustle, but sometimes we don't need it.
Yeah.
And then this whole like Blaze shooting thing that happened with Drew and Marlo, that escalated quickly.
Yes, that was scary and messy, and like I felt almost uncomfortable watching it, because I'm like, are they supposed to be talking about this? Should we not be talking about this? It got a little weird at the end.
Yeah, no, totally. And it's like, I wonder if Kandi didn't talk about it because maybe like legal things, like, there's maybe a reason why she's not talking about it, but I guess they're all like, well, if Kandi doesn't want to talk about something, she doesn't talk about it. So
I see that point too, because we've gotten housewives like that before, like an Erica Jane or someone like that, where it's like, you can't just decide what you are and aren't going to talk about. And if it is in the news, it's probably pretty worthy of a conversation.
Right. But totally.
Legally, I don't know.
Legally, I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to get very interesting. All right, well, let's get into our social spotlight of the week. Who caught your attention on social media?
Mine goes to Kim Zolciak's oldest daughters. They gave their mom a shout out for her 45th birthday. Ariana said, happy birthday to my best friend, the hottest mom. You are the strongest woman I know. Thank you for all you do. I'm so proud of you, Mom. Brielle said, happy birthday, Mom. I love you so much. An insider told us that Zolciak-Biermann celebrated her birthday with friends and family, and Kroy was not invited.
Nice. So I'm sure the party was in the house. I'm sure he heard everything.
Oh my God. No birthday for you.
It's got to be so uncomfortable. All right. Well, mine goes to Luann, because Crappy Lake is coming July 9th. We got our first look at their at Luann and Sonia's new series. It seemed like a spin on The Simple Life. It kind of seems like that.
Yes.
And she captioned it, now this is cool, not like all uncool. I love Sonia Rita and the people of Benton. What a trip. I can't wait for you to see the show. And it looks fantastic. I'm so excited that they are back on our screens. It's going to be airing right after the new Real Housewives of New York. So you will still have Luann and Sonia right in sandwiched into New York, which I love.
I love that too. I'll definitely be watching. I hope it like feels real and not just like too hokey, but I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too. All right. Well, that is it for this week's episode of Getting Real with the Housewives. Let us know in the comments. We know you guys got a lot to say about Melissa and Teresa. So who's going? Let us know, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye. For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below, and visit usmagazine.com.